So here's the thing, Google didn't make the Pixel 3 and 3 XL for you. But you may say, whoa Brendan, why are you saying that? I feel offended. You may think that that's really frustrating to hear. It's frustrating for me to hear. And many of you think that Google had you in mind, they had us in mind when they're designing that phone, but their actions speak otherwise. I'll explain and show you why, and explain why a lot of you feel frustrated and left out. But here's the thing, one thing that we're not all left out on is the need for securing our information. You can actually see if a lot of your account information has been compromised, and one of the ways to prevent your account information from that compromise is by using a password manager from this video's sponsor, LastPass. Forget the days of losing your mind trying to remember all your passwords, getting locked out of accounts, or resetting your password to Fuzzy Bunny 1234. Dude, are we up to 5 now? LastPass autofills all your password information for you on both desktop and mobile platforms. It just pops up, you authorize it to put your information in, and you're good to go. You can even add an extra super secure layer of protection for your LastPass vault with multi-factor authentication using Google Authenticator or Microsoft Authenticator. The best part is they offer a free tier, so there's no reason that you shouldn't be using it. And if you sign up for the premium tier, it is less than the cost of half a coffee a month with the extra bells and whistles. Wait, you said half a cup? That's a crazy steal. Check it out by clicking the link in the description. And thanks to LastPass for sponsoring this video. So leading up to the launch of the Pixel 3 and 3 XL, we pretty much knew everything about the phone, but many of us still thought they must have some sort of feature-rich phone that has all the things. It has to at least be on the level of the Note 9, with all the RAM, the storage, the face unlock, and some sort of wow feature. It's Google, right? It would compete and strike down the almighty iPhone with the power of Android and specs. But did we receive that? No, we didn't. We received a flagship phone that was on the low end for RAM at 4 GB, and this is compared to the 6 GB that you can get on a OnePlus device. We didn't get a massive battery on the 3XL like the Note 9, but a smaller one than the 2XL? There's no face unlock, just the usual fingerprint scanner, which in my opinion is placed in just the right spot. Storage options are still small, starting at 64 GB, and there wasn't much of a standout wow feature other than perhaps call screening and night shot, but you can get that on your Pixel 2 device. And no, the notch is not a standout feature. So then, who did they design it for? You see, they didn't design the Pixel 3 and the 3 XL to be a beast of a phone. I've often said this before, that the Pixel phones are the iPhone of Androids. Google is trying to make a phone that has a tight integration of software and hardware with a simple and intuitive software experience and offering. They're trying to do what Apple has done with the iPhone. If you act like Apple, then you don't need the top of the line specs. You just need something that is simple, intuitive, refined, and just works. And it has to have the standout features that the masses would use, and do it well. Honestly, they didn't design it for you and me. They designed it for the mom who just wants a cute looking phone that helps her check her email, see how her grandkids are doing, and she can send some messages. And they made it for the Gen Xer that wants to up their selfie game and their vlog game. You see, I'm describing the masses, the average consumer. When they walk into the store, they don't just turn off their mind to specs when they look at an iPhone, and the moment they look at an Android phone, they become a spec nerd. No, what they do is they buy what's put in front of them, looks nice, and is priced well. But what about the Note 9? You see, the Note 9 is arguably the most spec-stacked phone that's out there. But you see, it's too expensive, it's too big, and too complicated for the average user to figure out. There's just too much going on. It looks more aggressive and utilitarian rather than soft and elegant, like the Pixel phones. And if you're a Gen Xer, you look at this pen and go, ew, isn't that what my dad uses? Google aimed to do the opposite of what the Note 9 did. You don't believe me? Look at what they did. Look at what they said and didn't say at the event. During the announcement, they never mentioned Android because it's such a robotic thing to say. Instead, they focus on the elegant, soft curves of the devices that just blend into your environment. It just fits well on your nightstand, right? This is a Google phone. It's subtle. They didn't really go for specs at all. Like, really. Instead, they went over features and experience, and that's what matters the most. It doesn't matter what the specs are, it's actually how the phone works. At least that's my opinion. The features they announced were practical and for the everyday person. Want to take better pictures or have better selfies? They have that. No more having your friends cut out of the shot or missing that awesome scenery while you're telling a story. Wide angle lenses are pretty cool, aren't they? What about having the best picture taken by having Top Shot help you out? Or Google Lens that helps you purchase those awesome shoes you just found? Want unlimited storage for all your photos and videos instead of getting that storage full error that you get get on your iPhone, it has that too. Oh, and it's free. One all-day battery, you got it. But there's also some AI thing that helps out with all that, but that's too complicated. We're not gonna talk about that. With the power of Google Assistant in your hand, well, you got it. It works way better than Siri most of the time. And on top of that, it can screen your calls. Oh, and we have a charging stand that's smarter than all the rest and better than the one that isn't coming out from Apple. Everything they did was a direct counter to the iPhone, including the software gestures and notch. So who's the iPhone for? It's for the average user. It's a commodity. Whenever they need to upgrade, they just go to the store and they get whatever's put in front of them. But hey, maybe you're getting bored of the same iPhone every single year and you want something else, like the iPhone of Androids that's simple and elegant. At least that's what Google's trying to say. Still don't believe me? What about the accounts from the average non-tech heads that have checked out the device? Well, my experience has been the same as Stephen Hall. But what's even better, his little sister checked it out, and you know what? She loved it. But why? Because it was slim, easy to hold, and it takes great pictures. She especially loved the wide-angle selfie camera, which is honestly something that many of us in the tech community let out a great moan saying, who freaking cares? But you know what? Normal people care. In fact, the photos are so good that they're willing to wait for Google to do its googly magic on it. They don't want something crazy insane and a bunch of specs thrown at them. Most of them don't even know what a Snapdragon 1337 is anyways. They just want the basics in a clean, simple, refined package. Of course you could debate on whether or not this method makes sense. I mean, is it working? And is the hardware as good as Apple's? And in my opinion, it's no. And is the software integration as good as Apple's? And I would say no. There's just some crazy bugs that's there at launch, and for some of the standout features like photos. And of course, some of them are being fixed, but it's not a good look, right? But is this all enough to get people to switch from their iPhone over to an Android? I constantly hear about how bored they are, but yet they won't move on. I guess it's that ecosystem where just people like having the same thing over and over again. Maybe their needs are a bit more simple than what you think. But what are your thoughts? I'd love to hear what you think about Google's approach and whether or not you think it's working. I'd love to hear from you, so go ahead and join the This Is Tech Today Discord community. There's a link down below in the description. And make sure to share, subscribe, and hit that bell icon. Thanks for watching This Is Tech Today. Until next time.